Hey, welcome everybody. It's 2026 kickoff preseason. Father, Son, and Holy Football weekly NFL show. I'm G-Man. That's T-Money coming to you live. Our July 14th preseason show. Hey, T-Money, I changed my mind this week, man. I was going to talk about the numbers and kind of dig into things and look at the stats, but I just want to talk about some of the best teams in football and the best quarterbacks in football. What do you think about that?
I like the sound of that, G.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. Team Money, you're back for another year. We're ready to go here. We're going to give some highlights.
Yeah.
We're going to get people ready for their weekends as we get toward the season. But right now, we're just going to have some fun and talk NFL.
I like it, G. I missed it. It's good to be back.
Well, love that and love being with you too. Guess I'm going to kick off something here with a
All
number.
right.
I'm gonna have a G-man number every week. You know what my number is this week? 15.3. Team Money. What do you think that number is?
What is it?
That number is how many points the Seattle Seahawks, these boys behind me, how many points they allowed during the Super Bowl playoff run.
Wow.
Championship defense, 15 points a game, which brings us to our first question, Team Money. Are the Seahawks the team to beat this year?
No. No, they're not,
Oh,
G man. I think that they had a great little run. I
ah,
think, it was awesome. It was a good team effort, but there's a reason there's not a lot of back-to-back champions in the NFL. The Chiefs recently did it, but they had to get rid of Tyreek Hill, and Mahomes had to go supernova, and win an MVP without any weapons at all, basically carrying this team. I don't know if Sam Darnold has that type of capability. And I just think there's a lot of mouths to feed now. JSN wants to be the best receiver in the NFL.
yeah.
Devon Witherspoon wants to be the best cornerback in the NFL. These guys, now they've won, they kind of go on their own agendas, right? And it's hard to repeat. There are Super Bowl hangovers. And I just think within their own division, which is extremely hard with two high level teams in the Rams and the Niners, it's going to be hard to repeat as division winners, let alone Super Bowl, when you got Lamar coming back from injury, Buffalo trying to rebuild, the Chargers and Chiefs looking to bounce back, the Lions trying to bounce back, New England getting better, adding AJ Brown. There's a lot of teams that have improved. And so it's just so hard to repeat. So I don't think they're the team to beat. That to me is the Los Angeles Rams. And, you
Woo!
hear me talk about my darlings for the third straight season. How
Are
I
you
think
making a bold
that,
prediction that the Rams are going to
that
win the NFC?
that's one of, one of many predictions in the Rams winning something to come. That's for sure.
Well, you know what? They had the team last year. If you said who's the best team last year, okay, I'm going to say Seattle. Yeah, they probably are. But coming into this year, maybe I agree with you. Look at this playoffs. In the playoffs, Darnold throws for 346 in the conference championships against the Rams. Why? Because he had to. He had to because the Rams put up 27. But you look at the Super Bowl against New England, he only threw for 200. And that's what he
Yeah.
was able to do last year. And you know what else happened? Charbonnet got hurt. They got rid of that ridiculous committee backfield. And they finally had an offense because they gave the ball to Kenny Walker. But guess what? They let him go.
Yeah. Great point, G. Kenneth Walker and that run game is going to be a lot different. Kenny Walker's gone, and Charbonnet is going to be out for the majority of the year. So they're going to rely on backups as running backs and a rookie who we don't know if he's even good because he was a backup in college. So on top of that, they lose their safety to the Bears. They lose an edge rusher to Cincy. They lose their running back to Kansas City. They lose another quarterback to the Eagles. They've lost some key contributors from this team too. So it just felt like such a complete in the moment team, and that just one or two of those can really tilt things here. And then a lot becomes on Sam Darnold's shoulders. And that's what we really got to see is
And
he was
that's not
unbelievable in the
good.
playoffs. Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. No, he only threw for 124 against San
Yeah,
Fran in the divisional round.
that's a
124.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a lot's on his shoulders now. He's not like he's
Hey,
not capable, but lots on his
we know
shoulders.
We know Mike McDonald has that defense. He's a defensive coach. The guy's turned this team around. He's one of the young, up and coming guys. I think he may be the
Yeah.
youngest, and certainly the youngest successful coach right now in the NFL. And what do you think? If I had to, I'll give you a choice here, Tim. I mean, this is my big debate question back to finish up a question. If you were starting a franchise tomorrow, would you draft Drake May or would you hire Mike McDonald? You can only pick one.
Drake May, no question. You always take the
Oh,
quarterback.
oh,
Yeah.
whoa, okay. Man,
Yeah.
Mike McDonald. Sorry, Mike. I mean, T-Money didn't really mean it.
Yeah.
But let's move on to another quarterback. We want to talk about quarterbacks, T-Money. Let's go
Yes,
to the guy
sir.
in Kansas City and talk about Patrick Mahomes. Tough, tough year for the boys there in Kansas City. What do you think? What does Mahomes bounce back? Getting old, T-Money. He's getting old. Is he going to bounce back?
Yeah, I do think he bounces back. I do think they have a
Yeah.
solid year. I think, it's gonna be different. Travis Kelsey's another year older. Rasheed Rice is questionable, coming back from an injury. But what they've really done is try to shore up this offensive line and run game. And now, for the first time ever, Patrick Mahomes has a running back in his backfield that's rushed for 1,000 yards. Now, no one ever has with Patrick Mahomes, so
Yeah.
hopefully Kenneth Walker can do that for him. But in the past, Patrick Mahomes is dealing with very light boxes and a lot of guys playing deep because there's no threat of the run game. So hopefully that can help balance out things for Mahomes more than ever and while he recovers. And then towards the end of the year, Patrick Mahomes is the best playoff performer in NFL history. He is one of the best ever in the regular season and raises that in the postseason. So don't let him get to the postseason. He'll be healthy. He'll have games under his belt. That means Kenneth Walker's rolling. So I'm not saying that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think yes, last year was a disaster. Do I think he's going to be better than a disaster? Yes, because he's an all-time quarterback. Okay,
That's it.
so
That's right. That's right. Well, hey, despite missing the playoffs after his ACL, LCL, both, he's still
yeah,
ranked number two quarterback by some of the publications. He's still ranked number two. But
yeah.
look at these, listen to these touchdown passes, team. And I want you to tell me how many passes you think he throws this year. I'm going to tell you how many passes he threw the last several years. You tell me how many touchdown passes he throws this year. His high was 50 in 2018. He got the MVP in 2022 at 41 touchdown passes. But look at since then. 2023, only 27. 2024, 31. 2025, 22. How many does he
Yeah.
get in 2026?
Yeah, I think around, 32 to 34 sounds right to me.
Okay.
Something like that. It's going to be slow in the beginning, so maybe it'll be 30, but he's certainly not going to rush as much as he once was. And, for anyone in the fantasy community too, he was averaging I was the number one QB on average to start the season. So, he was playing at an elite level. So a
Yeah.
bounce back from fantasy wise, especially, they weren't playing great as a team, but man, was he giving you some fantasy points. So, as a person like myself who has Mahomes as my dynasty quarterback right now, I would love for him to bounce back as a QB1 in fantasy as well. But I think he's going to
Yeah.
be better, G.
Here's the dynasty ages, the top quarterbacks in dynasty. They're their ages. Patrick Mahomes is ranked seventh in dynasty. He's 30. He's the oldest in this top eight, except for one other guy. Who else is 30, T Money?
Is that Lamar?
Josh Allen. Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen. Josh
Number
Allen. Yep.
one is 30 years old. So got a couple 30-year-olds there with those guys, and the youngest
Yeah.
guy in the group, Drake May
Drake
and Caleb
May, Jaden
Williams.
Daniels. Yeah. Yep.
And Jaden's 25. Yeah. So a 30-year-old, I mean, I still think he's got some good years in front of him. I think it's more, like you said, not as much running, more back in the pocket, kind of like Tom Brady did when he was older. He
Yeah.
can dump it off to Kenny Walker. Kenny Walker's a great back out of the backfield. And so he can rack up stats by being back there in the pocket more.
Yeah. I agree. I agree,
Hey,
man.
all right. So let's go on, team. Let's talk about MVPs and what do you think the MVP candidate is this year? We got the classic guys, but I want you to give you my I want you to give you our surprise MVP candidate, Tim Money. Who's the surprise MVP outside of those top guys?
You know, I'm trying to really dig deep here when you ask me surprise, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to say Dak Prescott, right? Like, I think Dak Prescott could lead the league in air yards, and passing yards this season, right? I do think that, but that feels too easy. He's been an MVP candidate, top two guy. So I'm going to dig a little deeper into my bag, and I'm
Oh.
going to go pretty far down to Bo Nix. All right.
Oh
If you
man,
really
and
want
that's
to
interesting.
pull,
Okay.
if you really, really want to pull surprising. Now, again, I like the Dak Prescotts of the world as an actual, but Bo Nix's team last year went 14-3. They were the one seed in the AFC. A lot of times that will get you pretty damn close to a MVP on its own merit. Okay.
Yeah.
The guy was electric at the end of games. All right. Now, I agree. The rest of the team was very good. It was very Seattle Seahawks esque. He only had 25 passing touchdowns, but he had 5 rushing touchdowns. He showed he could run the ball as well. So if he ups that to 32 passing touchdowns and 7 rushing touchdowns, and his team wins 13 games, can you see that guy getting MVP votes? I
Yeah,
could.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Do I think he's the best quarterback in that division, let alone the NFL? No. But if
Ha.
you're asking me who to watch out for, a really young QB that has already proven he can win at a high level, probably would have been in the Super Bowl if not for an injury. It kept him out of the AFC Championship game. So, surprise dark horse MVP. Watch out for Bo Nix to make some
Yeah.
noise.
Okay.
Things.
All right. All right. I got you there. I got you. Bo Nix is 15th. 15th in DraftKings. And that could be a good bet for T Money to make tonight after he gets out of this podcast.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm just going
uh,
surprise. Who would
hey,
surprise you?
I'll tell you what's not a surprise. It's going to be a quarterback. 18 of the last 20 have went to quarterbacks. We know it's going to be a quarterback. And I'm looking at here at the rankings on DraftKings, and this is a lock right here. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. You said Bo Nix is 15. Jalen Hurts is down at 13. What is he
Yeah.
doing way down there? I can't believe he's ranked 13th in the MVP voting. He's behind Darnold, behind Lawrence, behind Purdy. I mean, come on, guys. We know that Philly has it in him to go all the way to win the Super Bowl because he's done it. I'm going Jalen Hurts as a surprise candidate because he's done it. They got a good team. Why
Yeah.
can't he win it? We
That's
know it's going to be a
spicy.
quarterback. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah. And he's
Uh,
got already got the narrative on his side. AJ Brown leaves him. And if he carries them to like a 1 or 2 seed without AJ Brown, that's a nice little storyline you got going there, G.
and that is a little storyline. And speaking of the storyline, I mean, let's look at the Eagles coach and Nick Sirianni. And what do you think, T Money? I mean, yes, he can win it all, but is he also on the hot seat? Is that possible that he's a hot seat coach?
Yeah, I think Nick Sirianni could
Oh,
be fired at the end of the year. The Eagles, they don't mess around. They've fired Super Bowl winning coaches already. So I do think that he's coming in a little bit on the hot seat. All right.
yeah.
They won the Super Bowl the year before, brought back everybody and only won 11 games. They couldn't get the locker room under control. They had to trade AJ Brown. It just felt like he was losing control a little bit there. Now there's resentment for Jalen Hurts, and articles are coming out in ESPN that people don't like him, and like you got to get a hold of this coach. And then it's coming out,
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni. What do? You don't call plays. You don't do the personnel. You're kind of this aloof guy. So look, I think that they could easily fire him if he doesn't win 10 games and misses the playoffs. But the crazy
Yeah.
part is this, like you said, this team could go to the Super Bowl. So it's a roller coaster of a team that I don't want to bet on either way, really. And so, he could definitely be on the hot seat. I think Eagles fans and management are just waiting for him to blow up so they can. I think they're all fed up with him.
Yeah, yeah. It's a crazy thing. I agree. I agree. Records 59-26. His record 69% winning percentage, three division titles, two Super Bowl appearances, one title. And he's still
Yeah.
on the hot seat because their expectations are so high. And that's a
Yeah.
good thing. That's a good thing. But I'll give you my hot seat. I'll give you some guys that are on my hot seat in the coaching ranks, Steve Money. And all of these guys, when you think about them, they all look like they're lost when they're on the sideline. They look like they're lost. I'll start with Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is on the hot seat. That team, if they don't pull it together, I mean, that fan base is going to rip him to shred. And I swear to God, half the time he looks like he's lost out there. I don't really see him engaged in all the details. He just looks like he's walking around smiling.
Yeah.
And they have another disappointing season. I know they might not fire him, but he will be on my hot seat. Here's another guy that looks confused out there. Dan Quinn. What, everybody likes Dan Quinn because he's a nice guy? Washington was terrible last year. They were
Yeah.
taking over that East division, and they fell apart last year. They spent a ton of money on that team. And that guy walks around, I swear he's hugging people. I don't know if he knows
Yeah.
any of the plays. I don't think he knows the plays. He's a defensive guy. And my last guy is Todd Bowles, Buccaneers. I swear, he look at his face, he looks confused half the time. Like he's making those squinchy eyes. Like, what the hell? What are you? I mean, what the hell, Todd Bowles?
What the hell? Hey, I agree. I like that. Look, you know how I feel about Zach Taylor. I've been complaining about
I
him for
know.
5 years. So, got drugged to a Super Bowl, about to get drugged to another one. So overrated. Todd Bowles, great one. I do think if they miss the playoffs and in that easy of a division, with the weapons they have and the quarterback they have, he could be gone. That's a good one. So I like all your picks, man. I like all
Hey,
your picks.
okay. Hey, I got one last question for you. One last debate question to throw. These are my
Okay.
throwbacks to Team Money at the end of each question. Would you rather coach a rebuilding team where 6 wins? Everybody says, man, you did a great job. Or would you rather be coaching a Super Bowl champion where 11 wins might get you fired? Which team you want to coach, Team Money?
Super Bowl, baby. Give me the pressure.
I knew
All
you were going
right.
to say that. I knew you were going to say it.
I
Hey,
was
that's
born
it
in
for
the heat.
today's. That's it for today's show, everybody. Father Son Sports loves bringing you the NFL energy. We hope you had fun hanging out with us. Check out our website. Get some of our merch for the season. Everybody wonder, we got new logos, new shirts, new everything. Check out our merch, Father, Son, and HolyFootball.com. On behalf of Team Money, I'm G-Man. We will talk to you next week.
All right. Peace.